Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Welcome to Right and Wrong. This is the show where we try to wake up the woke by talking common sense about the issues of the day. I'm your host, Brian Ruka, and with me always over there is my man and yours, producer Juice. He is the man from Alabama, from Georgia, from Tennessee, from Timbuktu. He covers all the bases, the greatest producer out there worldwide, and he's given us the classic Juice smirk. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen out there, give it up to our man, producer Juice. How you doing today, brother?
Great. Thank you. Ready to roll. Happy to be here.
Oh, love it.
You got me? Mic check. You hear me right?
Check-in's great. That mic is a check-in, baby. Keep it up, my man. All right. So, since we've last spoken, Kamala Harris has failed to do a press conference. She's refused to do a sit-down interview, but she has picked her running mate. Until 2 weeks ago, I, like most of you, couldn't tell you who Governor Tim Walz is, but now things have changed. I've heard the left try and sell the man as a working-class Midwestern father who served in the military and coached football. I've heard the right label him as the soldier that abandoned his unit when he found out they were going into a war zone, and as a man who let Minneapolis burn during the heart of the George Floyd race riots. Regardless of which version of Walz you're getting, I believe his pick, much like the J.D Vance pick, tells you a lot about the person at the top of the ticket. Each candidate ignored the call to pick a slightly more moderate VP to balance out their ticket in favor of leaning into their own bases. Trump went with the most conservative option on his short list. He went with a young fighter that will attack the media and his opposition in a similar way to Trump himself. Donald Trump chose someone that could steal some of his thunder, as opposed to someone with absolutely no thunder at all, like Doug Burgum. Let's face it, the Donald has a large ego, rightfully so. But many wondered if he'd be willing to share the spotlight, and thankfully he can. Personally, I love the pick because, as long as I can remember, it's been the Republican Party that chooses to try to go, moderate over and over and over again, only for that moderate position to go from marriage is between a man and a woman to marriage can be between three guys and a billy goat. And if you say otherwise, you're a religious bigot. While the Vance pick seems like the bold move by Trump, the Walz pick was equal parts cowardly and equal parts stupid by Harris. She's stupid because typically the strategy for a VP pick would be to select someone from a swing state or from a state that you're looking to get some help from. Ladies and gentlemen, Timmy is from Minnesota, which is a state that last voted for a Republican way back in the year 1972. Minnesota's already a lock. He doesn't need help from Timmy, or she doesn't need help from Timmy. And she's cowardly because she passed up a more moderate choice from a swing state that both candidates are desperately trying to win when she called boss on Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. And we all know why she passed on Shapiro. It's because he don't dig on swine, because he prefers unleavened bread. It's because he said Mazel Tov at his wedding. Yes, she passed him over because he's a Jew. And the radical, pro-Hamas members of the left would not put up with a white Jewish male on their ticket. Look, as I already pointed out, both the Democrats and the Republicans seem to be digging in their heels and forcing the country to pick from two completely versions of this country. I couldn't think of a better way to demonstrate the choice we're about to have than by looking at certain decisions that states have made on how they choose to run their public schools. Louisiana has taken some heat for mandating that the 10 Commandments be on display in all public schools, while Florida has taken heat for removing books like Gender Queer from their elementary school libraries. And on the flip side of things, a state like California has just mandated that teachers are not, I repeat, not required to inform a parent when their student starts going by a different name or pronoun while they're in school. Or a state like Minnesota, where their governor, Timmy, signed into law a requirement for tampons to be distributed in all public school bathrooms, including the boys' rooms. I get that not everyone feels the same way that I do about religion, but this country was founded on the values of the Ten Commandments. And the Bible is the most significant book ever written. So if you're an independent and you're forced to choose one of these two versions of our country, I'd say you need to have your head examined if you think our country is better off in the long run by teaching our children to change their sex and mutilate themselves instead of teaching them that Western civilization and Christianity go hand in hand. And with that being said, I believe it's that time of the day that we welcome in our good friend, Mr. Ric Flair, because it's showtime, baby. Woo!
Showtime!
There's my man. I had you blocked out there for a minute. Sorry, I couldn't see you at first.
Woo!
Love that hat. I can't believe I lost mine. That's a good one.
We'll get you
It's
another
got
one.
that extra large thing on it still, too.
Not this one. I ordered that, but it didn't have it. Like you can have a dome,
Okay.
but like the buttons are longer, so it
Okay.
makes you look like you have a normal. You know, like sometimes I have them fighting on, two
Yeah,
notches
down at
back
the
there,
end.
clinging for life. So it just doesn't pop off my head.
Boy, where am I at here?
Yeah,
That's
a bunch of
yeah.
notches in.
A lot of notches, notching up a storm over here. All right. So let's start off the show with a topic number one we're going to call I'm Speaking. I'm speaking, Juice. I'm speaking. Okay.
You said get a
So,
picture.
that's a
A
great
goofy
picture. Good
picture
job.
of her.
Oh, I love it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this little new thing we've been doing here. My man's been working hard grabbing these picks for us, coming up with some themes with our topics. I think it's working. So awesome work. So what we're gonna go on is a little Kamala Harris little, I guess, reintroduction, if you will. They're trying to reinvent her as we speak right now with the help of the media, who has still refused to ask her a single question about 22, 23 days into her hostile takeover of the Democratic nominee. It's insane and mind-boggling. So what we'd like to do here is kind of go back through and really see who she is. So right off the bat, this is something my wife's like killing me because I can't stop saying it prepping for the show this week. But we got maybe my favorite clip from her, Juice. If you got something to say though,
No, just
first, okay, all right. Let's
getting
start
ready.
off with this one. I can't help it. It cracks me up.
Yeah, here you go.
Everything is in context. My mother she would give us a hard time sometimes, and she would say to us, I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
Oh boy.
What?
You think you just fell out of that coconut tree, Juice?
It's like a coconut fell on her head and made her.
Oh. I think so. Oh
like,
man, she's got
like,
me.
What? Like you don't get the context?
It's like the dude in Big Daddy when he's testifying and he's like, "Oh, those two go together like lamb and tuna fish," and everyone's like, "What? Like,
It's
where's that
like,
analogy coming from?"
Like if that was a direct quote from her mother, then maybe it's not all her fault, right? She's like, my mother used to say the coconut.
That's true.
You think
It's the lady from Modern Family, right? The dog eat dog world, like messing them all up.
Yeah. My wife does a bit of that too.
Dude, watching that clip right there, has me a little self-conscious about these trying to deliver these monologues. I feel like my hands are a little Kamala-ish. Oh, what am I supposed to do with my hands right now? But she's bad, man. She's bad with it. At least Trump like looks like a badass when he's doing the excuse me, right? Frankly, she stinks. So that's her. It's clear just from that clip that we showed you that she's not really the sharpest knife in the kitchen, right, Juice? She's awkward. She's off-putting. Like I said, she won't talk to reporters because she has to stick to her script. She has to stay on point, on message all the time on the teleprompter. Otherwise, she's liable to go off track and talk about coconut trees and giggle uncontrollably like that. So we're going to pull this clip. If you folks watch Fox News, you probably saw this, the Jesse Waters show. He did a side-by-side of Kamala at two separate rallies. I think it was last week. One was definitely Michigan. I think the other one was either Ohio or Wisconsin. But she's trying to hit those, the Rust Belt states. And the joke of this whole clip here is the fact that she's literally saying the exact same thing in both speeches. No off the cuff remarks, no personality to it.
Yeah.
Super scripted.
There's not a period out of place.
Yeah, exactly.
Exact same thing.
It's wild.
Very genuine and authentic, connecting with each individual audience and relating to them. All right, you want to see it?
Let's do it.
So good to be back in Michigan. Listen, let me tell you, I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state. And listen, I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state. I took on perpetrators of all kinds. I took on perpetrators of all kinds and had a summer job at McDonald's. I had a summer job at McDonald's. So hear me when I say, hear me, Detroit, when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. I know Donald Trump's type. And are we ready to fight for it? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win!
Kamala's plagiarizing herself.
Wow. Incredible.
It's like the rock band when they're like, all right, good night, Cleveland. We love you. Like, all they do, or mess up the thing, like in the Simpsons.
Yeah, they say the wrong city.
Shelbyville, good night. Like, oh, this is
yeah. Oh, that's awesome. It's wild. How can people fall for this? That's what drives me nuts. And I've been saying it more so lately too, like whatever, me and Ashley talking and stuff, but love him or hate him when it comes to Trump, at least the guy's authentic. Like, you're actually getting what his actual opinion is. He's going to say something stupid from time to time. He's going to say an off the cuff remark. In every little thing he says, they pounce on. The Democrats pounce, right? Progressives. That was yours.
Yeah. Progressives.
Trademark Juice. Progressives pounce. So they're going to do that on everything. You can't do it to her really because they're not giving you an opportunity to do it right now. We're pulling clips, the coconut tree things like a year old at this point because that was her winging it. They don't want to do that. They're trying to get through the next 90 days here, whatever we're at, 80 something days, without really letting you see who this woman is. And unfortunately, I feel like it's kind of working for them right now. And, I know Trump's been calling it like a little bit of a sugar high so far with her. And she's not going to take a question until they have their convention next week. They're going to go into the convention. It's going to be all rainbows and unicorns. And it's going to be ridiculous. Nothing tough is going to come out of there. Then all of a sudden we're into September, just about. And early voting starts in a lot of places there. Hopefully, once they get her on the debate stage with Trump, he'll be able to really get her going. You got any?
Even just answering a question, like even just an interview. I know she committed to a one-on-one interview, but I want to see a gaggle.
Yes. Exactly. Put the press in
Right.
front of her. Not that they're going to ask her very tough questions, but even there, she'll still come up with a gaffe. Like, it's going to be insane. I
think
wish I.
she's saying all the same stuff. She got me though on one thing that she's kind of no tax on tips. She's saying.
It's kind of a brilliant idea, I think. Right? Like,
Well, just steal. Well,
she's an
yeah,
innovator
steal
with
it.
this,
Yeah. Oh,
with this move.
okay. And okay, you were going along with my thing, but it
Absolutely.
actually is a good move because the people who were going like, okay, we'll just do that too.
Oh yeah. We'll just
You know what I
take it.
mean? Because like, oh,
Yeah. I mean, you don't
shit,
think that
we
that's
lost
going to
that.
expose it though? Like,
I don't know.
people are
They
just
don't
going to
care,
yo,
dude.
hey, you hear Kamala Harris isn't going to tax our tips, man? Come on.
Yeah, well, I'm saying people who are only being like, all right, this is very important to me. A one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be like, fine, I'll go to you on the fence. It's like, oh, if she's doing it too, now
Might
you
as well
kind
go
of,
back to where my heart really is, anyways.
yeah, and they're both doing
Yeah.
no tax on tips.
Yeah. She's taking one of his bullets. I
She
guess,
obviously
huh?
doesn't care if she's exposing it because she's saying going backwards on everything.
Crazy.
Like we don't have pull-up clips, keep receipts.
It's wild. So in the spirit of thinking about the first moment that anything challenging is going to be put in front of her, is going to be that debate. So to prep for this show this week, I mercifully went back and watched that entire Kamala Mike Pence vice presidential debate from 2020.
It's like
'Cause-
2 hours long.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a rough watch. And all the COVID stuff too, man. Ridiculous. They had plexiglass in between the two. They were separated. We have an audience in here that is safely socially distanced and masked. Like crazy. And it took up like the whole first probably 45 minutes of the thing were all stupid COVID stuff. But the thing that I wanted to focus on was the moment that I'm sure everyone watching right now can remember from that debate is she had the viral moment from it. She had the slay girl moment where she did the I'm speaking. And that was all that people took from that, and I'll give her credit. Like it at the time, that's all I could kind of remember too. And it was like, shit. Like you knew it was like, it was on the heels of Trump interrupting Biden a ton in their first debate where people were killing Trump for that. And she went into this planning to use this line, like definitely did it. And then was like played the victim of the white man is just going to talk over me.
Like we saw that last week. Oh, on that Zoom call, don't talk over a BIPOC person of color.
Black woman.
Don't correct it.
No, never. So the like during the research though, watching, I didn't realize, Juice, she did this 3 times. The thing was the whole thing was 90 minutes. She dropped this 3 times. I'm speaking. And she got more off-putting each time she did it.
And not just to Pence.
No, that's
She
exactly.
says it to others.
The original time she did it, the very first one, it was to Pence and to the moderator. But she framed it just at Pence. So yeah, let's play the first one.
I think this is it.
The president wanted people to remain calm.
Well, let's get.
But Susan, this is important,
Susan,
I want to add. But Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
I have to
I'm
weigh
speaking.
in.
Yeah, you can have 15 more
wanna,
seconds, and then we'll give the vice president a chance to respond.
I want to.
Susan, this is important.
Yeah. But like, it's the moderator trying to move on from her, like, and jump in, and then Pence chimes in as well, and she does the I'm speaking, yeah. And the head shaking up a storm, man. Bobblehead.
Excuse me, Mr.
Harris.
Vice President.
Oh, brutal. But again, I'll give her credit. I'll tip the cap a little bit. It was a good moment. It played, especially, like I said, on the heels of Trump kind of just talking too much in his first debate with Biden. So she went in playing that, had it all set, and it worked. But because she's untalented, the longer the thing went on, she didn't really know what else to say. She was getting stumped at times on things. And she reverted back to her defense mechanism. This was the I'm speaking. When can I do it again? When can I do it again? And she busted it out a second time, which I think Juice has this one too.
Senator Harris.
Well, I mean, I thought we saw enough of it in last week's debate, but I think this is supposed to be a debate based on fact and truth. And the truth and the fact is Joe Biden has been very clear. He will not raise taxes on anybody who makes less than $400,000 a year.
He said he's going to repeal the Trump tax cuts.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
Well, wait,
I'm speaking.
It'd be important if you said the truth. Joe Biden said twice in the debate last week that he's going to repeal the Trump tax cuts. That was tax cuts that gave the average working family $2,000 in a tax break every single year. Senator,
that is
that's the math.
absolutely not true.
Is he only going to repeal part of the Trump tax cuts?
If you don't mind letting me finish, we can then have a conversation, okay?
Please.
Okay. Joe Biden.
Horrible. So that time, not as successful, right?
He was not a what?
Not as successful as the first time she did it. Like,
no, she comes off like rude there, especially at the end. Because, like, okay, that stuff happens in debates. They chime in all the time, and then she's like really talking down to you. If you let me finish this, we can have it as, you know what I mean? The way she
and
did
the best
that
was like,
didn't look like strong woman. It looked like bitch to me.
Exactly. And she like looked puzzled when it didn't like stop him dead in his tracks this time around.
Yeah,
like she just got that smile on and like didn't know what to do. She was like, wait a minute, he's still finishing his
I'm
point.
speaking. You heard me. I said, remember the I'm speaking bit? We're not doing that anymore.
No, it's over. It made me think at the end part too, like of the Canadians in South Park, right? The South Park movie. Can I finish? Can I finish? Okay, I'm finished. Because she finally got it back and she like didn't do anything with it either. She
goes to say the same thing. Oh,
exactly.
Like,
horrible.
Moved on from that and the I'm speaking.
Yep. So
she can't do it again. She didn't do it again, did she?
She brings it home one more time for us, Juice. And like I said, it progressively got worse each time, more cringy. And I think this one's probably the worst moment. So let's give it number 3.
Court to get your way.
I'm so glad we went through a little history lesson. Let's do that a little more. In 1864.
Well, I'd like you to answer the question.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Okay. In 1864, one of the.
Wow. Okay. Like, horrible. That was not like a good moment. But again, she's got the machine behind her anyways, and the Democrats always have that advantage. And that's all she needs is like one tiny little sliver like that. And then it's going to be how great she was. She, power suit, put that man in his place. Don't let him speak over you. You go, girl. Like,
yeah,
that's
you're more of a get back in the kitchen kind of guy, right? That's what I've been hearing. I definitely don't like that.
I would at least hope that my wife would want to take my last name. Unlike Kamala Harris here, her husband's
Bergam.
last name Emhart, right? Why don't she take his name? Even Hillary took Bill's last name.
Emhart? What's Emhart?
Isn't that his last name? Earhart? Doug?
I thought he said his name's Doug Burgum.
Doug Burgum's the VP
guy
that Trump was
I don't know. It's Doug.
Isn't it something like that? It's Doug Earnhardt?
Second husband.
The second husband, yeah. But
yeah, I don't know.
He won't even take his name. Come on.
Never even heard his name, dude. How insulting is that? Second gentleman of the U.S. and I confused him with Bergman.
That's awesome. Oh, I love it.
Okay, Doug.
Doug. He's like Madonna.
He took her name. Doug Harris.
Oh, it's great. All right. So because she's untalented and she has to stick with her script and she's not very good off the cuff, she's just reverting back to her old tricks. So that was in 2020. That's when that played. She's like the Rolling Stones right now. She's like U2. You go to see them in a show, they're still belting out, Satisfaction and With or Without You at their shows. They're playing the hits every time you go and see them. That's what Kamala Harris is doing at one of her most recent, campaign speeches. She was getting shouted down by the pro-Hamas people. There were people chanting "Genocide Joe, Genocide Joe, Genocide Joe" while she was trying to speak, and they didn't realize I'm speaking. She went right back to it, Juice, if you want to give it to us.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm here because we believe in democracy. Everyone's voice matters, but I am speaking now. I am speaking now. So Project 2025. Look, if he is elected, Donald Trump intends to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations. He intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. He intends to surrender our fight against the climate crisis, and he intends to end the Affordable Care Act. You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
The only thing I'll give her credit for is that was kind of a power stare at the end, though.
Oh yeah, I could have let that play on. I wrapped that up early. She's
No, that's a good. I'm glad you wrapped because I don't want to give her too much credit.
I know,
but that was kind of like I'm on
the fence, dude. The no tax on tips thing and
no tax on tips, dude. Like I don't put it past these people to off a bunch of people to keep them quiet. She gave them that stare, man. Watch out. But I still can't believe she did the I'm speaking. She did it twice in that clip too. Otherwise,
she said I am speaking. Then she was like, she goes, I believe in democracy. That's why I'm up here. It's like, that's not necessarily true because
why? Because you earned all the votes in the primary, in the democratic process of nominating someone.
Yeah, but I'm speaking.
But yeah, I'm speaking. I stole this. I stole this.
They went to Joe and said she's speaking now.
Yes, they did. She sent Doug in to take out Joe, and now she's speaking.
Doug Earhart rode a plane over there. Isn't that the plane lady?
Yeah. Is it Emhoff?
I don't know.
Emroff? Enron? Doug Enron? I don't know.
He seems like one of those guys that he looks like he'd work at Enron.
He probably would. I can't shake that image. Every time we bring him up of him doing that dance behind her that we showed a few weeks ago with the patches on the jacket. Oh, crazy!
I'm just googling just Doug, but of course it doesn't. I'll
doesn't
right second gentleman.
Doug funny before him.
Doug E. Fresh, Doug Burgum, Doug Rashid.
Oh, Doug E. Doug from Cool.
Yeah, Doug E. Doug in there. Doug Christie, who was an American basketball coach.
That's
Doug
crazy.
Flutie.
This guy.
Right, Doug, second gentleman.
Second gentleman. He doesn't even come up in a simple Google
search. Hoff.
M. Hoff.
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
Look at that. Hoff hyphenated Harris.
I love it. We're self-correcting in real time. No need to put that in the comments, right, Juice?
Yep. Take care of it
while we're on the topic, before we shift gears and move on to our next subject, since I think we sufficiently covered the fakeness and media propaganda that's at play with the Democratic nominee this year. Before I shift gears, I do want to mention that please subscribe to the show. YouTube, I don't shout this out enough. Rumble, please look us up, subscribe to the show, like the episode, help us out. Juice, I don't know if you realize I am at 916 Twitter followers now at this point. Getting close, man. I'd feel comfortable if I could break that, the 1,000 mark. Get a K in there. Give me a little help. So tell a friend. DD Ruka 617.
Check this in real time.
Yeah, man. Look it up. It's there. I think half of them are probably bots, but I'll take it. Any help counts, I guess. So give a follow your way. What's yours on there? You're on the Twitter machine still?
Juicebox1423. I don't write
Love it.
anything, but I'm on there.
You're
Engage with
good.
me. I'll engage back, but I'm not
He's a
starting.
big retweeter. He likes the retweet game, right?
I'm only at 580, so
All right, let's bump
500.
those numbers up too.
Yeah, I
Come on,
need those
people.
numbers.
Help us out. We're
Feed
sticking on
feed
that.
them down too, though. If they come through me, I'll feed them your way.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Anybody that's already following you isn't following me, that got me right up to 980.
Oh yeah, let's go, people. Come on, follow train.
At
All right.
Juicebox1423 on X.
I love it. Dude, if you get to 1,000 before me, I'm gonna be real pissed. Juice is gonna be doing separate campaign for himself.
Separate
He's
cast.
logging in, going on the live stream. Oh, guys, we've known how to live stream the whole time. Follow my Twitter. All right. So, topic number 2. This one is going to be the exact opposite of the current vice president. We're going to focus on our man Vance 2028 because this guy's been on a tear lately. J.D. Vance. He has been all over the place since he's joined the Trump ticket, and his ability to take on the press, to go into hostile environments, to do interviews, makes it look even more glaring that the Harris campaign is doing none of that. So JD, he's been all over the place, and I'm sure you guys have seen this one already, but it was just kind of a badass moment where he was on the same runway as the vice presidential plane, and he decided to walk over from his spot, from his plane, and go talk to the reporters that were waiting outside of Kamala Harris's plane.
She won't do a gaggle, and he can't get enough gaggles, right?
Exactly.
He's going to take other people's gaggles.
Exactly. He's going to find them anywhere he can. So
scrums. What are they called? Media scrums,
move.
media
Yes.
gaggles.
He's all over it.
Let's see it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hi. So I know you're covering the vice president here. I figured I'd come by and just get a good look at the plane.
Hold on a second. You see that lady walks through? Is that the one, the DEI agent that they were all trashing like?
The holster lady? So when I first saw the clip,
I saw what people say Melissa McCarthy as a Secret Service agent.
It's like, dude, somebody pray for
She's
JD.
doing this
He's
with
in
the jacket.
trouble.
She's doing like a jacket.
Yep.
That's what they did. They made sure to just give him all B team. He'll handle it himself, maybe. Like
big time.
Right? He's probably strapped.
I'm sure he is. He's got an ankle holster.
Okay. Yeah. Keep in mind that she's the left wing, running up his left wing and like checking everything out.
Boy.
Like that worked out the first time. All right. Here we go.
Hi. So I know you're covering the vice president here. I figured I'd come by and just get a good look at the plane because hopefully it's going to be my plane in a few months. But I also thought you guys might get lonely because the vice president doesn't answer questions from reporters and hasn't for 17 days. Have they given you guys an explanation for why she won't take questions from reporters? No? Nobody? Okay, great. Well, I hope that she changes her mind because it'd be good for the American people, and I think it'd be good for you all if she actually ran a real campaign instead of one from a basement with a teleprompter. So have a good one, guys. See ya.
What would you like to hear from her?
I'd love her to answer the questions. I'd love her to just answer what she wants to do and also explain why every single position she has changed. She pretends to be a prosecutor, yet she pretends to be a tough on crime prosecutor, and yet here she is wanting to defund the police. She's the border czar, yet she's opened up the American southern border. This is a person who has to answer the questions from the media, and it's disgraceful that she runs from you guys. It's also insulting to the American people. But anyway, we're gonna go do our event. I appreciate you guys being here. I wish she paid you some more attention. See ya.
That's so good. That was so good.
Awesome.
Talk about somebody who doesn't know what to do with their hands, though.
I was thinking the same
thing. Like, see the guys behind him just like, facing the perimeter.
He does the flop hands a little bit.
No, sorry. I was talking about the girl still.
Oh, the girl. Okay. I was thinking of him.
Just doing the coat. He's holding the coat.
Yeah, she didn't know what to do with that coat.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right on that as
But
well. They're not power
like,
hands, but
to his, I guess, defense, like all politicians, I feel like kind of do that. Just Trump looks like cool when he does it. Like Vance, a little
yeah.
floppy, like with his. I don't know. But I love that answer or the line he dropped where he's like, "Oh, anybody? Nobody? Okay, great." And he just keeps talking like, "Anybody find that out?" Da, 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 da. But well played by him.
He's like, I love you guys. Just wish she gave you a little more attention. He's like,
Yo,
right? See ya.
yo.
And like he's out of here.
Just thought I'd
Yeah,
come
that was
admire that plane. That's going to be
at
mine in a
first, like
couple of months.
he's growing on me. At first, I wasn't like 100%. Remember, kind of at the beginning, I wasn't
Yeah,
100%
yeah, yeah.
sold, but
Mhm.
like stuff I'm loving
I
this
just
stuff.
love
And
like
then
I'm
we have a
telling you,
couple
like
other, like you said,
yeah,
Vance
we have
2028
a
thing. We
whole.
got yeah. This helps
It's awesome.
solidify him for me. But
This is
watch,
like,
just now Trump will probably like get a new one.
yeah, Trump's
Yeah,
gonna be like,
like
oh
you never know
shit.
what's gonna happen.
But like that's the beauty of Trump picking him though, too, though, is I feel like it is like almost like a way to keep the Trump momentum going for 12 years now. Like in a perfect world, it could be like, Trump does his 4 and then his VP takes over for 8, and it's more of the same Trump like agenda, basically. This guy is young, he's energetic, and he's up for the task when it comes to dealing with the media. That's the beauty of it. And he's smart. Obviously, the guy is smart, so he can do it. He doesn't need to be on a teleprompter like his opponent. So, this next one here is him talking to a bunch of reporters, and I think had to try to pick the best moment like from it, but he definitely is talking in Michigan, and he's talking about how she refuses to answer any questions. So he's like, any reporter out there that's from Michigan, I'll answer your questions first. But what we have here is him right before he actually starts taking the questions. But I think he nailed it when he's talking about her lack of accountability right here, or transparency. So, Juice, you want to give us this one?
The second thing I want to say is, while we're on the topic of reporters, Kamala Harris had another scripted set of remarks before a teleprompter yesterday, and today marks 17 days where she has been the presumptive Democrat nominee and 17 days where she has refused to answer questions from the media. President Trump will go anywhere, into hostile audiences, into friendly audiences, and answer tough questions. I will go anywhere and answer tough questions because I respect the American people enough to say that I should have to earn your vote. I shouldn't be expected to be given your vote while I hide in a basement or stand in front of a teleprompter, which is exactly what Kamala Harris has done. So I'd ask all the reporters here to show a little bit of self-awareness and demand that Kamala Harris actually do the job of a presidential candidate and speak to the media and speak to reporters. Until she does, you guys have got to stop giving her a honeymoon and pretending that she's something she isn't. This is a person who said she supports the police, yet she promoted policies to defund the police. This is a person who says that she wants a secure border, but she has been the border czar for 3.5 years while it's been wide open. And this is a person who says that she wants secure American communities, yet all of the people who are the police officers who are ensuring that we have safe communities, they don't seem to like Kamala Harris. And you guys have got to ask her tough questions about why that is. The media honeymoon for a person who runs away from the American people is disgraceful. It's not just disgraceful for Kamala Harris, it's increasingly disgraceful on the part of the media. So with that,
love that ending too.
It's
Increasingly,
you're disgraced as well if you don't
yes,
demand questions. Like he said, self-awareness, but he meant like balls. Have some balls.
Yep,
Yeah, there.
exactly. And on the topic of that, I'd much rather be flanked by the dudes he was flanked with in that one. Those two guys, couple guys with bare bellies but grizzled-looking faces. The guy right over his right shoulder looked like a catcher's mitt, face of a catcher's mitt. But I'll take that, man.
Couple bears.
Big guys. They're all like 6'3". Oh, take it.
But yeah, no, like I love when he said, I owe it to however he said, I owe it to you to like earn your vote. I respect the American people. Come out here and answer hard questions every day.
Yep.
He's well spoken.
He really is.
Rattles it off.
It's perfect. So let's keep the thing going then and show you JD's hits here. He talking in this next clip, he's talking about his buddy there, Timmy, on Kamala's ticket. Timmy. He has been getting accused here, rightfully so, of stolen valor. And you guys, again, you've heard of this already, but this shows you how bad Harris's vetting process was to not realize that this was going to be a huge deal. And I did hear that the former mayor of Boston was part of her team vetting her possible candidates. And how do they miss this one? I have no clue. But apparently Tim Walz was in the National Guard and retired when he found out that, he was going to be deployed overseas into Afghanistan. And there's been other clips that have come around where like people call him a veteran who fought in Iraq, and he nods his head. Never went over there, never went overseas. Yet this guy's going to take that as part of his, credibility as a politician here. Hey, I led men in war, blah, blah, blah. So it's just completely insulting and ridiculous. And it speaks to the whole ticket. Harris is a fake, phony, scripted, untalented, politician. This guy's the same thing. He's a phony and a fake. Trump, we said it already. Trump is who he is. You love him or hate him, the guy's telling you the truth. He's honest. He's speaking from his heart. And it seems that J.D. Vance is doing the same thing. Speaking in telling you something is his actual thought. These people, they're telling you what you want to hear. They're telling you what you think is going to impress you and help them earn your vote. And, when Vance was asked about it, I think he had a great answer. So, Juice, you want to give us this one too?
What President Trump said, John, is that Tim Walz has supported taking children from their parents if the parents don't consent to gender reassignment. That is crazy. And by the way, Tim Walz gets on his high horse about mind your own damn business. One way of minding your own damn business, John, is to not try to take my children away from me if I have different moral views than you.
The state to kidnap
they have
children to change their sexual identity.
What I just explained to you, I would describe as kidnapping, John. He has absolutely done this stuff. It's not crazy, John. Come on.
It's not what
you should not be able to take people's children away from them.
And that's not what he's proposed.
If you disagree with decisions about gender reassignment, yes, he has proposed that, John. He absolutely has.
Chalk that one up as a moment of a host not paying attention to his show.
Yeah, that's the clip that you called. You didn't call for it.
No, that's exactly the clip I wanted. I just did not properly set that clip.
Oh, yeah.
I sidetracked
better than what? Yeah, you were doing the valor, but okay, great that you explained that. But here's him. You should have said, "We'll go back and edit it." Here's him speaking on another, thing that Walz does that isn't great.
No, because it's still all relative. It's all part of the same thing. It's the fakeness of Tim Walz and him not being able to answer for his own.
You think that clip just fell out of a coconut tree?
That's a great clip, and it speaks to what we touched on at the beginning of the show when we're talking about that's the guy who put tampons into boys' bathrooms because he believes in the transgender nonsense. And I was talking about the stolen valor stuff because, obviously that's on there. I cut those clips from the show prep because I feel like a lot of those ones circulated. This one kind of intrigued me a little bit more, so I'm sorry that I didn't properly set that one up.
Yeah, it was good. Good knock on Walz, and love JD. But come on, Chris, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that.
Absolutely, and that's one of those things because in Minnesota they made it like one of those trans sanctuary cities. So how a lot of these states, how a lot of these states are doing, you can come have an abortion here. If your state bans abortions, they're doing that same thing. I believe California is like this too. But, if you're a minor and you want to change your gender, but the state you're in, you need your parents' consent, come to Minnesota and we'll let you do that. That's what Walz put into place. And that's what they were debating in that conversation that we showed you of the clip.
Yeah, I've been calling it drop-offs. I've been calling it drop-offs and chop-offs.
Yeah.
Drop them off.
You're 100% right.
Bad joke.
So it's ridiculous. So it's crazy. And the last piece of the J.D. Vance clips we're going to show you here is when he was getting grilled about that comment that Trump made about Harris's blackness, if she's black. And I just love the way he answered CNN here. I think it's Dana Bash, who just wants to hold every little thing Donald Trump says gets grabbed onto by the media. And the guy will speak for 2 hours and they'll pull something that he said 10 seconds worth. And that's the only thing they want to focus on. Yeah. And I love the way that Vance is able to articulate this answer because he's right. And, I'll fill in any blanks if there's more that's needed, but let's see what he had to say to this, Juice.
I believe that Kamala Harris is whatever she says she is, but I believe importantly that President Trump is right that she's a chameleon. She pretends to be one thing in front of one audience. She pretends to be something different in front of another audience. Look, Dana, she's not running a political campaign. She's running a movie. She only speaks to voters behind a teleprompter. Everything is scripted. She doesn't have her policy positions out there. She hasn't answered why she wanted to ban fracking, but now she doesn't. She wanted to fund police, but now she doesn't. She wanted to open the border, but now she doesn't. She should have to answer for why she presents a different set of policies to one audience and a different set of policies to another audience. And I think that's what President Trump is getting at. This is a fundamentally fake person. She's different depending on who she's in front of.
It's perfect, right? And he's right, though. That is exactly the point Trump's making when he says something like, oh, she used to be Indian and now she's black. And they just they take him so literal and jump on it. But what does he mean by that? Okay, she has a Jamaican dad and an Indian mother. If she wants to say she's black, yes, she's black. That's not his argument. His argument is that she presented herself as the first Indian American to win.
Yeah, when you wanted that vote, when you needed that vote,
exactly.
Now you need this vote.
Exactly. And Trump is saying it blunt and harsh. That's his style.
Yeah, saying, she's black now, meaning
exactly
presenting as black now.
Yeah, 100%.
Using their language.
Yep. But it's just wild. So that's where Vance definitely has a strength, though, is he can take something like that and articulate it perfectly, and then just leaves the
what the president meant to say. He's
going to be cleans it up. Need J.D. Vance on aisle 2. Clean up
aisle 47.
Yeah, exactly. I like what you did there,
dude. Nice. Yeah, he chameleon. Yes, I haven't heard people he said he's a chameleon. I looked that up. I didn't hear people saying that. The song Karma.
Chameleon. Yeah.
Karma llama ding dong.
Karma llama ding dong.
How that had to have been said, but we'll put that in the notes. If not, coin that for me. Karma chameleon.
And where can you find those notes, Juice? When you subscribe to the show on YouTube or Rumble, you can look right in there in the comments, drop a line to
or on X at Juicebox1423. Let's get these numbers up.
Get those numbers up, please. So please, for real, spread the show around. Tell your friends, follow and like. We're still on Apple, Spotify, all that stuff too. But you want to see our handsome faces here, so join us on the video side of things. All right. Now, let's bring this thing home with our always fun, always popular, come on, man, segment of the day. This is the time in the show where we find a clip of somebody doing something, saying something that's usually so bad, so ridiculous that even though we're going to make fun of them for a couple of minutes here, there's really not much else we can say to them except,
oh, man.
There it is. Now, this one is going to be, I'm taking a little bit of liberties here because something that I've been annoyed about going on maybe 3 or 4 years now, at least. And I happen to go find a clip to present the thing that I want to argue against. So usually I find something, something stands out to one of us that we're just like, dude, this thing's ridiculous. This person's a tool. This one's nuts. And we go off of that. This, I had a situation that aggravated me. And I went and found something to show you guys so that it could just open the conversation. So
it's just like an old clip. Is that what you're saying? Like
no,
it's not
the
currently.
clip is a new clip from this year, but it's more the general point of
But
what I
it's
want to
better.
talk
It's not
about.
like you have to say, you've probably all seen this. You probably haven't seen this. So
Thank you. So let's see
original
it.
one. Okay. Sure.
Our teachers getting ready to get the classrooms all set up for the start of another school year, but it's harder for them ever to get that done.
Yeah, Texas teachers are leading the country right now in and out-of-pocket expenses for their classrooms. KMX Juliana Washburn spoke with a few educators to see how we can help.
Brian and Lauren, while you're scrolling on Facebook, you probably see teachers, especially right now, posting their Amazon wish lists. Now, this is what the educators I spoke with today tell me helped most.
Oh my gosh, it's like Christmas.
Pencils.
These are the best pencils.
And books.
Colored pens, map colors, games.
It doesn't matter what it is, it all helps.
It's the most amazing feeling because of the fact that it's a gift that they didn't have to do it.
You can just tell when they come into school on meet the teacher night or for parent night, and they see their classroom and they see where they're sitting and they see cute name tags.
It puts a smile on the kid's face, even something as simple as a decoration.
In class, we had these Christmas lights, these Christmas decorations.
But it's not easy to get those lights or those pencils. A study by Coupon Birds found that Texas teachers spend an average of $1,396 on school supplies.
The reality is it's probably over $2,000 that teachers are spending each year.
So when something gets checked off their Amazon wish list,
it just takes a lot of stress off.
They feel like they can do their job.
A pack of pencils will make a teacher happy.
Now, both educators tell me some districts are able to help out with school supplies more than others, but there is still a gap to fill. And you can mostly find these Amazon wish lists on Facebook.
Okay. So you get where we're going with this?
I think so.
Amazon wish lists. Teachers, you've seen this. Anybody who's friends with a teacher has been seeing them post all summer long at the beach, reading a book, going to the carnival, all the stuff that they get to enjoy during the summer months. But in August, you always see, oh, the horror's starting again, though. I'm starting to get the Sunday scaries. It's August and we're getting ready, prepping for school again. And here's my Amazon wish list on what you could buy to help me decorate my classroom. And I'll admit, it's an easy thing to think of when you first see it. Oh, that's a nice idea, a nice gesture. Yeah, let me, buy some pencils for the classroom. Let me, in that video we saw, pencil sharpener, posters, Christmas lights, all these things. Oh, let's help. My gripe is that the teachers are milking us on this one here. They get to play the poor me teacher, help me organize my classroom because we're so poorly funded. Nobody takes care of us. I shouldn't have to pay out of pocket to decorate my classroom. Okay, sure. Some of those things could be valid. My gripe is, and this is where I'm going to personalize it a little bit, take it out of Texas where that story was, because I can guarantee you guys this happens all over the place. I'm going to focus in on the little area in Massachusetts where I am here. And not too long ago, about a year ago, I saw a school district, public school, pretty big city in Massachusetts. All the teachers reposting, support us in our fight for a new contract. The school board, the school committee's lying. We have to go to arbitration over this. Support your teachers, this, that, and the other thing. Contract. And in prepping for this segment here, I went and looked at the contracts that were proposed from the teacher side of things. And not once in that proposal did I see anything about more funding for classroom decorations. I did not see them asking for things like, Christmas decorations. They wouldn't say Christmas at the public schools in Massachusetts. So that's off the table. But they didn't ask for more books, better supplies. They didn't ask for an allotment of money that could be used to decorate their classrooms. You know what they asked for? Things like more sick days, longevity pay, step raises for levels of education. And Juice, I'll take a breather for a minute here. Let you chime in. Sorry, I'm kind of hogging the mic on this. You got an opinion yet?
No, I was just gonna when you were saying the Christmas Day, I'm like, but they are asking for BLM flags, pride flags. Those are on the list.
Well done, my man.
Other thing, well, the quick note, good to see they're still using at least Ticonderogas, those good pencils. Like those are, the top of the line stuff.
Good brand.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's on her Amazon wish list.
still
Someone else
doing
is buying those.
Yeah, nothing but the best, right? When you're not
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
think like I just had to do that stuff at not like pay a wish list and get decorations and stuff, but like at the most money per student of any country, that goes into like they can't provide the pen, like that's not already built into it. But I
It's
want you to
crazy.
get back to what it's crazy that they have to ask for it, but at the same
Yeah.
time that it's not already included.
Exactly.
Like
So,
that.
well, that's my major gripe. It's like I'll admit I already kind of roll my eyes a tad at teachers because I think a lot of teachers have a great perk of obviously having the summers off. They have about 70 days off in the middle of summer on top of a whole week during February, week during April, at least here in Massachusetts. Extra days around Christmas, Thanksgiving, every major holiday. Along with sick time, maternity leave, paternity leave. So they get a ton of time off. I get 2 weeks plus what, maybe 10 sick days, if that. So these people have a ton of time off and they don't own that, at least the ones that I know. They always act like it's like something like, oh, people are mean to teachers about our time off. No, own it. Like that's a perk to your job. You worked hard to get it. You went to school for it. Now you're a teacher, but own it. Yeah, hell yeah. I want my summers off. This is the best. It's a cool thing. But the fact that some of these people can make $80,000, $100,000 to be a teacher, and you're working a fraction of the time as normal people who work the grind. It's mind-boggling. Divide that among
What?
days worked and make that, that salary should be adjusted based on that. And nobody wants to have that conversation either. You know what I mean? So you do all right. You get paid pretty well, considering. I'm not saying you don't have struggles, not saying you don't have pains in the asses to deal with like all of us do. But getting back to the topic at hand here, they're making a good salary. I want to see more of a fight for the needs for your classroom then. When it comes time to negotiate for things. I used to work for the city. I had a City of Boston job. We had things like uniform allowance every year. You got like an extra, couple $100 in your check, like in January and July to buy new uniforms because you had to wear the uniform. Teachers can work stuff like that into it. Why not ask for better supplies in the school? Anytime you see these like contract negotiations, it's always about, pension percentage, sick leave, the like I mentioned, longevity, like it's all stuff like that. And if that's what you want to argue for, fine, go for it. But then don't go around and try and make all your friends and family feel guilty and have to buy something for you from your Amazon wish list to stock your classroom with. That to me is borderline insulting, even though I think it comes from a place where they think it's justified to ask for that. I think nobody ever tells them what we're saying right now, what I'm saying, at least right now. I don't think anybody actually presents it from the opposite side of the aisle here, I guess.
So you say, like you're saying it's okay to ask for those things, the other things, but like at least at the end be like, and while you're at it, we shouldn't have to get our stuff on an Amazon wish list. At least throw it in there.
I think the people they should be asking this stuff for is the government that runs the school system.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Give us more PTO. And also, while you're at it, we shouldn't have to do this wish list.
Or maybe sacrifice an extra day of PTO in order to get the money allotted to you for your classroom. Like you can't have it all. You can't have it every way you want it. So to me, it's like it speaks more so to government mismanagement too. And how many, assistants to the assistant superintendent do you have, making a salary within the public school system that you could probably chop off a few loose ends there and redivert that money towards better resources in the school then, if you want. Sure. It all comes down to government spending to me, but I just think it's insulting and a little bit, you know, of a out of touch ask for people to personally ask their friends and family to buy stuff for their classrooms through an Amazon wish list. And it's always presented by the media there, or, you know, the people that you see. Oh, what a nice thing you did. You see Juice put up his Amazon wish list for his classroom. God, can you go do that? Like, no, thank you.
I've never seen it, but I believe you.
Oh, you got to get a Facebook friend page, my friend. Come on.
No, but I do have a X page at Juicebox1423.
Yeah, you only got. Yeah.
The race to
teachers
1,000.
of the world out there, send him a follow, okay? All right. So, Juice, you got anything else to add to this?
No.
Clearly, George is doing something right.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't see it. Like, but I sign up to help at the parties and stuff. I like that. You know, do a craft at the Christmas party.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Bring it, and I'll bring that in. You know what I mean?
No,
like
no
making
problem with that.
snowmans. Yeah.
No problem with that.
Like I like that. Get in the kids' classroom, see what's
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. So
all right, cool. So as long as we're on the same page there. So
yeah.
All the teachers out there that put up their Amazon wish list to supply your school in the government-run schools that don't supply this stuff for them in the first place, you have all earned yourselves one big, fat, classic.
Come on, man.
And that'll do it for tonight's show. Thank you guys for joining us. Juice, you are the man. Always a pleasure to see you, my buddy. And
the show that almost wasn't.
Until next week.
Thanks for having me.
The Right and Wrong Show is produced by Juice. Executive producer, Juice. Audio mixer is Juice. Hair by Skull Shavers. Wardrobe and makeup by Ashley Ruka. Right and Wrong song created by Juice. The Right and Wrong Show is copyright 2022 from Brian Ruka.